And we are live. Welcome to Transformers the Show, episode 274. It is a TFUKcon special.
It's time for Transformers the Show! From Michael Bay to Marvel, UK, everyone on in between. Breaking news and toy reviews, every robot turns wet green. Grab a brew and join the crew, become part of our scene. Bring your mom, let's drink her own, make sure you're at least 18. Welcome to the show, the party and the flow. Friday nights, let's go, Transformers the Show!
Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. It is a TFUKcon special. Unfortunately, tonight there's only the two of us original hosts here with myself and my co-host Peter, who's joined us. How are you today, Pete?
I'm very well, thank you, sir. Thank you for asking.
Excellent. But even though we haven't got Paul or Jamie tonight, who are off doing other things and having their own lives for some reason, we are joined by two wonderful gentlemen and two people who had a lot to do with the success of last weekend's TFUKcon. We have got Primetime Moth from Primetime Toys. Fantastic. It's not it's a talkie. You're like, there you go. and we are silent movie. And we are also joined by the very talented Sam from Transformers on Instagram.
Hello.
And as you can tell, it's going to be a high energy evening. Right. We will crack on though. We've got loads of stuff for you tonight. We have the usual news and pickups. We have socials. We have foreplay, which is going to be TFUKcon themed. And we have our discussion, which is all about TFUKcon. And we will be sharing some photographs of the event with you and reminiscing about it and talking about what we enjoyed and what maybe we think maybe we could even try and improve for next year. But first of all, rather than going straight into the news, we need a bit of an update from a young man, a very young gentleman by the name of Peter, who went for a bit of a run a couple of weekends ago. Tell us about it, Pete.
Well, Andy, thank you for that marvellous introduction, calling me
You're
a
welcome.
young man, you charmer.
Makes a change.
So, yeah, big time. So we've been talking for weeks and months about the fundraising event that I keep saying we as the show have fundraised for me to do a run. So that was not last Sunday, the Sunday before. And it's done, hence the tagline in my picture. It was quite possibly one of the most horrific feelings I've had over a 5,000 meter distance. The first 15k went really well. The last 6 was testament to traumatic, both physically and emotionally. But Andy, have you got the video? We got a little bit of a video that I put together by my videographer.
I have. I've got your video, but we can't play that one, so we'll do the half marathon one, okay? Right, well, let's go with this. And I believe you're going to commentate and narrate. Here we go.
Yeah, I am. Steve Cram and Brendan Foster all rolled into one. So Sunday morning was as warm as we thought it was going to be, but nonetheless, I laced up my trainers and onto the start line we went. I've had a bit of an Achilles issue the last 5 weeks or so. So the fact that it went from me wanting to get round it to wanting to get round it quick to whether I was going to get round it at all. And the gun went, and I'll be perfectly honest, the Achilles never bothered me. However, the lack of training did. That was probably the best I looked in the last 4 miles. And this was a desperate bid to finish as quick as possible. Yeah, I felt a hell of a lot worse than I looked. Genuinely, it was so where the start and finish is about 6 or 7 minutes away from my house. Where Emma was going from point to point in the car, she'd parked in town and was like, I crossed the line and I didn't feel very well. I'm not going to lie, I did not feel very well. My legs hurt, and my internal organs felt like they'd been rearranged. And she said, do you want me to go and get the car? And I didn't, and I just walked home because I feel like my legs would have seized up. And I don't know what I look like. It took me about 15 minutes, 20 minutes to walk home, like half a mile. I'm walking through this housing estate. I've got no top on. I've got a half-eaten banana. I look like I've seen things only you can see in certain dark areas of the internet. I genuinely, hand on heart, if someone had been at 17k with a card machine, I would have paid what they donated. I would have stopped, not just to stop running, but to be taken out of the game permanently. I've got, that being said, I have got just a couple of, just very quickly, just a couple of photos that I would like to.
Let me just.
Oh, hang on. Let me reopen. I've just got to really sum up kind of almost a game of two halves. But look, from the perspective of a marvelous event, yeah, really well organized, fantastic. There were loads of people. The marshals were really lovely. It was just a nice event. But I'm in no rush to do another one. No way. It went. It was so funny though. I felt great at 5k. Felt great at 10k. Didn't feel too bad at 15k. 16k. 6 minutes later, the wheels come off, and it was like something out of Platoon. If you could just share that, mate.
I will.
Please. Thank you, sir.
There you go.
Well, you say that, mate. Monday and Tuesday. Yeah, this is before this. This was probably at about 7 o'clock in the morning. I felt fresh as a daisy. I was ready to roll. Today was going to be a good day. So randomly, I don't know if it's a placebo effect, but my calves always feel better when I'm wearing them. I look ridiculous. However, I always feel a bit better. But that being said, regardless of what I did it, we did it, and I just want to say again, thank you to everyone that supported, whether it was messages of good luck or you've been kind enough to sponsor. We set what I thought was quite an aggressive target at £1,310, and I'm not going to lie, I what I didn't want to happen is for us to be embarrassed by not hitting it. But ladies and gentlemen, that has blown my mind. That to not only hit quite an aggressive target, but to surpass it by a third, it just mind-blowing. And I could be really cliche and say that this kept me going in the last 2 or 3k. It didn't. No way. At that point, I didn't care. I didn't care how much money was there. But in all seriousness, to every, just go and enjoy your night. to everybody that supported, thank you again so much. And just to bring everyone up to speed, this is just in sponsorship. This is just in sponsorship for the Half Marathon. This is not including the profit from the merchandise that we've been selling all year. So that number is going to be even higher. And it would be magic if we can get to TFN and give Toy Fu one of those massive novelty checks with a number that begins with a 2. It really would. But I'm genuinely so grateful and very humbled by the support I've received. That being said, if you did have any spare money down the back of the sofa, we're going to keep the fundraising link open, because we don't want to turn away any opportunity to continue to build that total, because the bigger that total, the more kids we feed, and the more kids we feed, everyone's going to have a warm fuzzy feeling inside. But I just want to say again to everyone that watches, everyone that supports, my co-hosts, the wags, everybody, it is a team effort. However, I didn't see anybody at 19k. Not gonna lie. When I was having that, when I was having that delirium, I'm sure I can smell chips. But so we're going to be opening up merchandise sales in the run up to the big dance at TFN for August, where all the usual will be up for grabs, and we've got a couple of exciting little ideas as well that could really help give you something for supporting us. So just thank you again.
Well done, Pete, mate. That's incredible.
Well done, Pete, mate. Yep.
Genuinely fantastic.
Incredible.
And we were there running with you in spirit. I mean, not like obviously actually running with you, because screw that. But we were there in spirit, and I think that's what's important. And because I didn't want to run it because I'm massively unfit. But maybe next time. And yes, if people want to contribute still, use that QR code, go back, and if you can, that'd be fantastic. Sorry, were you going to say something, Sam?
No, I was just joking. It's fine.
Brilliant. Yeah. Right. Shall we crack on with some Transformers themed news? I think we should.
Sounds good, yeah.
I talk some TV, and now the news. Don't touch that dial.
Oh, it's so weird when you're having to do it all yourself. Right. So we will start off with this, which is breaking news in many ways. And it is in no small part down to the efforts of some of our erstwhile friends, like Mr. Prime Moff. Moff, would you like to explain this?
Yeah, so after running TFUKcon, I got to this week and was like, I'm bored. I need to do something fun. I need something to keep me busy. So this is something that's been on the back burner and kind of been in conversations for the last few months. We've finally got the kind of details ironed out this week. So we are pleased to announce that on Saturday, 21st of June, we are having TF Nation, the gathering, the first of its kind up in Scotland. So this is a chance for all my Scottish friends to make sure you make an effort to come along, show the support to TF Nation. I already know of people who are going to be bringing some fun wee goodies to hand out. I've got Blockies to hand out because everything I do seems to be sponsored by Blockies. So I've got Blockies some Blockies to hand out. The details will kind of go through the TF Nation page. We're meeting around at 11 o'clock. Fun chat, beers and bots. So a really good opportunity. I'm really looking forward to it. It'd be good to see loads of different people and people that I only kind of see at TF Nation, because there's a lot of people, like your good self, I see quite often now in comparison to folk I see once a year. So, I know that there's a couple in our chat that are coming. I've had a couple of messages already since it went live of people going to make an effort to come. So it's promising to already be popular. So I'll be in early. I like a cheeky breakfast. So I'll go for a cheeky breakfast and then be there for people arriving. And I think my last bus home was 11 o'clock. So that's the challenge. What's
the venue again?
It's called Waxy O'Connor's. So we've got that booked from 11 o'clock. But if people want to come in early, I've been messaging John Grieve, Borderstud, about maybe doing a breakfast, and then there's I've offered my couch, my spare room, everything to make sure people can make an effort to come. So I'm really looking forward to it, and it's a pleasure to be involved with TF Nation in another kind of format this year. So.
Yeah, and I believe the details of this are all over TFN's social media now. So if you are interested, if you're up there in Scotland and you've been thinking, why do we never get one of these gatherings? Well, guess what? Now you do. You've just got to make sure you can get there. Hopefully you can. So that will be something to really look forward to and bridge that gap to the big dance at TFN in August. Right. Let's move on. Let's do some toy-related news. So we did a show last Friday and we covered the week before's news at that show, so we're not going to go over that stuff, but we've tried to concentrate on things that have been revealed or come out within the last kind of 7 days. So this is the Aldi Transformers Wave 2. Now there's a picture of the whole wave, which includes Megatron, Bumblebee, Nemesis Prime, Elita 1, Skywarp, Perceptor, Shrapnel packed with Bumblebee, gold bug chase figure, shattered glass bumblebee chase figure, and a toy deco Megatron, which you can see on the screen. And I actually quite like this. Somebody was asking me at the con, because I did a little bit of selling with Primetime Toys. Somebody was asking me which of the, is it Romulus figures would be, I think it was Gav M. The toy deco or the toon deco. And I have to say, when I first saw him, I was always leaning towards the toon deco, but actually the toy deco one of that
gorgeous.
It looks lovely
Really
in
nice.
real life. And I think this does too. But it's personal preference. So
these are better than the original. I keep saying oddly, but I know it's not oddly. Oddly figures. So these Action Elites are an upgrade for the original versions. The original figures are okay. They're not amazing. These are more like an action figure. But the details on this new wave look absolutely cracking. So I will have hopefully I'll be able to get a small selection of stock again. I think I'll get 5 boxes. That's all I could actually manage to secure of the first wave, and they flew off the shelf. So,
well,
and I think these ones I don't think are the same. So these ones are more like that. Megatron's a different Megatron mold. So these are more like the original ones. So this obviously you see Skywalker's a repaint of this. So this set of 6 are more like just repaints or kind of in line with the original ones, and then you've got the Elite ones, which is the Megatron, and I think there's I can't remember what the Elite ones are, but they're a slightly better posability and ability. These compared to a Blocky, they're not as nice, but they're cool. I mean, there's a Segway box. I needed one.
Do you have to build them?
No, they come as that. They're kind of more just that little action figures.
Yeah,
but more like a RED line. But yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Right, we'll move on. So we saw through eBay user Icon of Iacon, Studio Series 86 Voyager Mick Mixmaster, and we got some kind of in-hand photos of that. There's some more photos coming up as well, because we then got some more in-hand photos of him and Long Haul. As anybody's, I know some people were really excited about these. I'm sure in the chat there'll be a bit of debate about this. Some people were really excited. Other people seemed a bit meh and were saying they'd stick with their Combiner Wars. To me, you keep your Combiner Wars for the Devastator, and you get these for the individual Constructicons, because I just think the scale works quite nicely if you do that. But
I agree.
Anybody got any other opinions? Anybody?
The yellow, the yellow, the green, or whatever that color is between in the middle of the two, looks a lot better, I think, with people's recent pictures. I think I don't know how Hasbro originally took the photos, but it looked quite like a pastel, whereas Mixmaster looks really good there, and the color looks really good.
It looks like an improvement, I think. Personally. But yeah, I don't think it's necessarily a thing of get rid of your Combiner Wars one. I think you could make room in your collection for both sets, if you were so inclined, obviously. And then there's some lovely shots of them of the Mixmasters as legs, and also ankle tilt.
Ooh.
So there you go. That's what we all come for, the ankles.
To the left.
Yep.
So there was that. Anyway, we'll see a little bit more of Mixmaster, I think, later on. This was some news to do with Funko Pops. Anyway, these was Funko Pops. Anyway, for those of you who do like Funko Pops, and there's a lot of you who do, I've had conversations with people who are big Funko Pops fans, and that's fine. You know, you'll really enjoy yourself in a lot of collector shops. Only sell 90% Funko Pops. Here we are. There are some Funko Pops Beast Wars figures coming out. So we're getting a Black Arachnia, Optimus Prime, Rhinox, and Megatron. Apparently released under the TV Transformers Classic line. Nobody really knows exactly what that will entail. But anyway, that's what they've put. This is still early information, so everybody's waiting for official confirmation of these. But, you know, it seems
you say everybody.
Are they?
Well, when I say everybody, I mean all 6 of the Beast Wars fans out there. Hey, let's antagonize the Beast Wars fans. Anyway, enough about this. Let's get some Blockies on the go. I will see more of this later on as well. So this is the actual Galaxy Defender Devastator extra parts, which apparently aren't available in the US. So
Anywhere
in
else
the
on-
US
no,
already.
They're
Yeah,
not available Western release. They're not going to Western
that's
release.
it. That's it. So it's a Western release. So like you're gonna have to get them from, I don't know, a reputable independent toy trader.
No. So I have tried this week to get them. So I know Shozy had them up. My distributor in China was not able to get them. The only way he's been told that they were able to get them is if you had bought all the original, all the figures, and the Chinese release, your cards that come with them will have a code. You need to apply all 6 codes to the website, and then you can order the set. So how Shozy have got them, I don't know, but I did try. Didn't I, Sam? I was like, I'm going to try and get these, and then sell them for crazy money on eBay.
I was going to say that certainly doesn't sound convoluted and frustrating in the least.
They're not allowed to sell it for somebody like this. Yeah, I don't get it.
Just what? Don't produce it then. Like, just you're cutting off half your market. And actually, how many people are pissed off because of the fact they're not able to get it? Like that, it ruins it a bit for me. Like the excitement we had at Reading when there was a realization and there was a crowd reaction of actually we're going to get devastated. Well, no, actually, you're not. You know.
Yeah.
But you, if you loved it, Jenny, you could.
Not you, no.
That's disappointing. So it's a fumble from them, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think they'll get it released. I would imagine they'll get a license, but I don't know why they've got Hasbro licenses for everything else, but then they can't have a. It must be the combining aspect or the transforming aspect of it.
Do you think it's anything to do with the Age of the Primes one coming out and Hasbro not wanting anything distracting from their constructor? Sorry, not Age of the Primes. I keep saying Age of the Primes. I mean Studio Series 86. It must have something to do with that because, like you say, why give them the license to make these things in the first place if you're then going to say, "Oh no, you can't do that one"? You know, it just doesn't make sense. Anyway, we'll move on. This is Yolo Park's AMK Pro Series Tarn. It's alongside. On the right-hand side, you can see Black Mamba, which is the knockoff, oversized, die-cast, improved version of the Hasbro mainline release of Tarn. The credit for these photos is Michael Lowe of Transformers ERC, which is exclusive repaints and customs. So you get a bit of a side-by-side comparison. So the one on the right, the Black Mamba, that's oversized, isn't it? It's bigger than the original Hasbro Tarn. So this is, this Yolo Park one's a fairly decent size by the looks of it. And obviously doesn't transform, so can't really do a vehicle alt mode comparison. But there he is, still holding his mask, looking really confused. But he's there, and you will be able to get this from Yolo Park.
Excellent.
It does look very good, especially when you compare it to the kind of the Black Mamba one. You think of the praise that got for it, how it looked as much as anything. I mean, they've done a very good job. So that's one to keep an eye out for.
The Yolo Park AMK Pro stuff is really nice, really nice. Their Megatron is their Optimus Prime. Like a lot of people actually put them in a kind of Masterpiece collection, maybe a wee bit small for Masterpiece, but just the posability and how it looks. So this is going to be really nice when it comes in.
Yeah. Then we'll go back to a bit of Aldi, which is so hard. It's like saying Aldi. This is their Transformers AAES Premium Painted. These are teasers. So they are doing Soundwave, Galvatron, and the Coneheads, although that looks an awful lot like Perceptor to me. There is a picture of Galvatron coming up. A Perceptor is not mentioned in the description, but I mean, if that's not Perceptor, I suppose. Oh, no, wait, is it got the Decepticon badge? Could be Magnificus, I suppose. Yeah, probably Magnificus. They've done a Perceptor.
That'd be
earlier of the oddly. Was that Magnificus? Was that not have Perceptor? Was that Perceptor or Magnificus?
I think we had before. Somebody pointed out, I can't remember who it was. I want to give them the credit. Somebody pointed out Galvatron blasting Starscream over a steaming pile of dog poo, which in that picture is pretty reminiscent. It's fairly reminiscent. But yeah, so Galvatron, it is Starscream, but kind of the wings look the wrong way around. God, I'm such a nerd. Right, so that's going, and then the Coneheads, and let's be honest, who doesn't love the Coneheads? They're just quality bots. So yeah, if you're into your Aldi bots, if you're liking the look of these, wanting these on your shelf, and you're not bothered about transformations, these will, I'm sure, be ones you want to pick up. Which takes us all the way back to these bad boys of rock. So here's Hook and Long Haul, and some in-hand photos on a messy desk of them, and the box and the packaging, and you get a bit more of an idea of what you're going to be getting if you manage to get these pre-ordered, but I know some people had problems because the pre-orders seem to sell out really fast for these. Hopefully, Hasbro Pulse will get some more and get them up there for everyone. So you can see the bits you get. It comes with a lot of kibble. Well, not kibble, but bits to build up Devastator. And I think there's some shots with some of the other Constructicons and some combined shots. So these photos came from Lithoma on social media, in-hand images, obviously. These are out in Australia already, which is bizarre because we haven't even got the first wave of them, and the Australians apparently have had the first and second wave already. I know geography and everything, but still, like, what the hell? And there they are. I definitely think Long Haul is a massive improvement on the Combiner Wars one. Yeah. In individual bot mode, at least. And I don't mind Mixmaster. I think he looks all right. Yeah. It's the Devastator a lot of people are interested in. That's what they've got so far, or at least what this person has got so far. I mean, he hasn't got the other bits. I
was going to say, I'm not going to lie, you don't terrify me.
Flesh wound. He's all right.
That's where I was going.
If we don't talk about the back of it, it's not a problem. You don't need to worry about it. You're not going to be looking at the back of it. Don't look at the back of it. It's fine. It's not a problem. Don't look at it. But yeah, that's what's sticking out the back of it.
That did.
I can't be
that's well, I've seen several photos. Well, not several. That's probably an exaggeration, but certainly a few photos where they've put it together. And even on the prototype, the grey prototype, it was legs sticking out the back.
Really?
Yeah. And I mean, I like the way the guy's trying to get an idea. Scale, but I mean, half his legs are missing, so
yeah.
But
I just line the heads up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That'll do. Yeah, so that's coming anyway. We know it's coming, and I'm saying I don't care. I will still get them. I really hope they're good. I really want a really good Devastator, a modern one. Anyway, right. Transformers Timelines, Hearts of Steel, Optimus Prime, Starscream 2-pack via Alkiem on Reddit. I will say it now, and then please all chime in. I'm sure they're great bots. I'm sure the engineering is fantastic, but the Optimus Prime in particular looks like a cheap knockoff that I could pick up in B&M.
Yeah, it does.
I can't, especially in his train mode. It looks like it's rolled straight off Thomas the Tank Engine. I won't be buying these. However, that doesn't mean they're bad. Any of you guys pre-ordered these, planning to get them, gonna dip your toe into the waters?
No.
Nope.
I have, but more than the FOMO sake of it, if I'm honest, because I love that comic. I've got the MMC of I'm sure it's MMC. Starscream, and absolutely love it. And I just thought, you know what, I'm going to get these because I don't know if I'll like them, but the more I see it, the less I like it. Like sometimes you order something and you get more excited.
Why?
Just skip through. I actually think the Starscream 2 looks better, but it's
no
on the front. It just
got a broken fan stuck to his chest.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so we can keep cool in the winter, summer. All the winter.
Enough.
Looks atrocious.
There is enough tat in this house without adding to it with this.
Tat man. Oh wait, that's Liam. Yeah, I don't know. No, not this. Although that's for some reason that makes me smile. It's the Oh, come on!
Look at it.
I mean, look at that.
They're not even trying, are
they? I mean, maybe it does look exactly like the comic book. I can't remember if I'm being completely honest. But
Matt Davis makes a great point. I like them as much as the back of Studio Series Devastator.
that much, Matt. Well, you must love them. Now, let's change tack slightly with another officially licensed product, which is these from Overlord, I believe is the name of the company, who are doing some specialized premium and rugged retro brand caps. And they're doing some Transformers ones. 4 trucker caps, because we're all truckers, featuring evergreen art of Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Megatron, and Starscream. $32 each via the Overlord website. Yep.
You look like I'm on a school trip.
Oh, they'd suit you. There's a Megatron. Look there. Look
yeah.
his little smiley face.
It's a no from me.
Look at how jolly he looks, though. I mean, slightly scary, I suppose. I like. Wait till you see the Optimus Prime one. There's something about that one that you might catch your eye. See if you can spot it.
I want that.
Yeah.
No.
He's a
No.
mother trucker, isn't he? That's what it is. That's what he's doing. It's not for the kids, probably.
I
not for the
got you
kids.
to buy this hat.
Oh wow.
And then of all of them, Starscream.
Like he's
probably
done that.
normalised. Yeah.
I mean,
I thought it was a middle
I
finger
feel
there.
like that is the best one out of the four.
I
But
agree.
that's but I don't feel like that's a ringing endorsement.
No, not really. If we're being honest.
$32.
$82 via the Overlord website, if you can find it. Anyway, speaking of Blocky's Devastator, here we have photos of it combined from Weibo user Mangangwan, which I may have completely murdered, but I just like saying it like that. Mangangwan. And I mean,
Yeah, shows you have sold out.
I'll put money on that there'll either be a KO of the combiner stuff or a third party will produce the accessory bits because people will be desperate for them.
the demand will be there, won't it? You know, at the end of the day, I'm not going to say they're shooting themselves in the foot. I'm sure they want to sell it over in the West, but get it figured out, get the problem solved.
Looks
I
good,
mean,
doesn't
it does. It does. I bet he hasn't got two massive legs sticking out of his ass either. It's a nice little Devastator if you can get hold of the parts, and hopefully, I mean, look at that.
Do you think he's a bit? Do you think he's a bit leggy? I don't know. Maybe I'm just bitter because I can't buy the combiner bits. But
I think you're probably a little bit. I kind of get what you mean. I don't think you can. It'd be difficult to get the bulk size, I suppose. You know, because you're just using parts, aren't you? And he's only like you look there. He's only twice the size. Not even that, really, of the Galaxy
only
size.
little.
He's not really. He's not a big lad. And I believe that's all of the mainline news. So we'd better go into some third-party news. Are we ready? And the answer is no.
I haven't used my tape measure yet. Come on.
Oh yeah, the tape measures. I hope those people who are at TFUKcon who were lucky enough to get hold of a tape measure have been using it daily, as should be the case. And if you haven't,
Let's measure along.
yeah, let's measure together.
Battle this.
It's heavy metal cruncher time as Optimus Prime goes toe to toe with Combat Megatron. Prime is one tough dude underneath his hood. He's a transformer missile fun phenomenon. Combat Megatron is combat armed. His mighty mega missiles are slamming. He can mad out more for use mega force, but Combat Optimus is still standing.
Yeah. One of the weirdest things is when I look back at how much news when we did do the show at TFUKcon Paul didn't download, and I'm just thinking, oh crap, we could have shown up. Anyway, Pete, you look like you need to interject.
Yes. Thanks, Andy. Dan, it's not why you had a tape measure. It's not for measuring headstones, toys, and shelf space.
I mean, to be fair to Dan, it is his job. He's not just wandering into graveyards.
Wow.
Worrying
That is
people.
abusing the tools at your disposal.
There we go. Thank you for that, Dan. That's lovely. I know. We hope it brings you many years of pleasure. Unlike third party. No, I'm joking. So right, third party company Kang Toys. We all know Kang Toys. We all love Kang Toys because they're always here. This is via their Weibo account, and this is images of the grey prototypes of the first two members of their long mini war soldier class SD mini Volcanicas. See, we know they've done it was like a masterpiece scale one. I think they also did one that was more, was it legend scale or was it more mainline scale?
I think it was more legend scale, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh, they've got the measurements, Pete. Break out the tape measure. So yeah, the masterpiece one was like 25 centimeters. Then they've done an 18 centimeter, and now we've got a 14, and then we're getting a 10 centimeter version.
25 centimeters is humongous. 10. I mean, where presumably they've done their research.
Presumably, they must know that this will sell. You've got Steg Sorrow, which is Snarl, and Bronto Solid, which is Sludge.
That's a good name.
It's quite a good name.
I like
Bronto
that.
Solid
Yeah,
one.
I like that.
Yeah. That's going to be your nickname from now on, Pete. Bronto Solid. And there's the beast mode for Snarl, at least. Funnily enough, there wasn't a picture of the beast mode for Sludge. I don't know why.
Because they can't get him in shot. It's massive.
Slice their hands up. Slice their hands up trying to transform them, maybe, and they got sick of it. Possibly. Who knows? So that's coming. If you're a Kang Toys fan, they are for you. Not me. And then this. I don't remember seeing this, but you'll be able to tell me, I'm sure, Moth. This is New Age Toys H64J IG08, which is their Legend Scale Trailbreaker. But this is like done in a fairly random, I guess, shattered glass.
Weird box.
Yeah.
Just because it's got multiverse and shattered glass characters on the box. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to be completely honest. Guys in the chat, you'll know I'm not necessarily completely afraid with a shattered glass. I don't remember seeing a shattered glass Trailbreaker, but
you can just colour it and call it a shattered glass one, can't you?
That's what New Age do. Let's be honest. Like call a spade. New Age, 17 different colours and quite different meanings. It's just it's bizarre. The head on it, I just don't like the head of it at all.
All the different flavours, as our friend Gav would say. These photos are by Weibo user Dark Emperor again, who seems to get these New Age figures every time. There we get to see him with a couple of his brothers. And is it wrong that I'm more interested in the Snarl on the box?
Yeah, the box.
And then there he is in vehicle mode. So there you go.
Trailbreaker, isn't it?
It's Trailbreaker in like a browny green. It's
Desert Storm Trailbreaker.
Yeah. Not for me.
Anyway.
Dreamstar Toys have shown off Load Warrior, their masterpiece scale long haul. And credit for this goes to Weibo user Wild Jijuan BB88. So there is in vehicle mode, which actually I quite like the look of, annoyingly. And there's bot mode. I mean, that is a
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Fierce. A pretty fierce robot mode. Have we got crotch thrust? Yes, crotch thrust is confirmed. As is now. I mean, I wouldn't stand on it, mate. I mean, that's you're just going to slice your foot off.
Yeah, gonna
they are excellent photos.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are good. A black background. Interesting with the right lighting. Because most of us always go for a white background, don't we? I mean, lots of us as photographers use that. But yeah, I'm guessing it's harder with a black background to get the lighting right. But anyway, I actually don't think this looks bad. I just don't think it looks like long haul for me.
No.
Very, very stylized, aren't they?
And I'm not entirely sure what this. I'm guessing this is like what it can turn into, or part of what it can turn into. I don't know. There was no explanation with the photos of this particular photo, but the head on that looks a bit like a stylized Megatron. So anybody in the chat knows, please let us know, and Pete will read it out because I can't do the comments and do this at the moment. And one last shot of that vehicle mode, which again I think actually looks quite fierce. Not that it'll make me buy it, but it does look quite fierce. But enough of this nonsense. Let's get on to everybody's favorite section. It's X-Transbots. For all
Be still my beating heart.
Big hello to X-Transbots.
Good evening, X-Transbots.
XT, Conochrome, and Firehole. This is called Youth version, but this is basically the Western colours and style of Slugslinger. So there he is. And there is Slugslinger with Caliburst, as we call him over here. Firehole, as he's called, I think. Well, one of them's Conochrome and one of them's Firehole. There he is as a gun.
Wow. Did you see John's hole?
I know, it was amazing, wasn't it? So fast. I mean, it's very.
It looks tidy.
Yeah,
it's nice.
I keep saying, "Oh, it looks really clean at the back," because you say it all the time about these things, but it does. Unfortunately, it's the getting to this part where it's that's often a challenge.
It's probably worth saying though that whilst we all share the same level of excitement, we're still waiting for the night beat as well, aren't we? That's been bandied about for. Well, I'm 43, so it's They've talked about it for at least 20 years.
Heard of it as a child.
Urban myth. But it looks excellent, doesn't it? The colours are, oh, yeah.
It really
But
does.
you need to
look
buy
nice.
two. You need to buy two because you can't transform it more than once.
Luckily, Pete, there's a toy store I know this weekend will have a pre-order going up. I don't know who.
I'd probably just have a look on Primetime Toys, but that's just me, Moff. You go where you want to go. It's up to you.
Yeah, why are you trying to lose business?
I am sorely tempted with this and the Misfire. It's just because of the characters, just because of
Agree.
who they are. And I like the look of this. I don't think it's perfect, but I like the look of it. I am terrified of the fact I'll have to transform it though. Look, so's he. He's But you might look at this and you might be saying, I don't really want that though, Andy. I really want the Japanese kind of colours for the toy. Well, guess what? You can have
that one. Yeah.
So this is the Japanese version. And it's literally, I mean, the photos are pretty much all the same. I know, I'm just fast. Ready? Pow! Ready? Yeah. Keep myself entertained for hours. Again, very clean, tidy. But yeah, I mean, it's personal preference. You'll like whichever one. You might like both. You might be ending up getting both. It'll be the Western release for me. I just prefer the colours and the head sculpt.
Going down the tune.
I'm sure there's a relevance to why you said that, but I'm not sure what it was. Oh, look at his smirky face. So you get slightly different faces at least. You do get a variation.
That's how they get you.
Oh, he's not happy with your reaction.
With the other colours.
He's fuming.
Oh, the face our partners pull when we say we're just going to buy one more toy. Right. So there it is. Moff, you probably know better when the release you said the pre-orders are up next week, did you say?
Pre-orders I'm putting up this weekend. And if I remember correctly, September for this one, I think.
Right.
But I'm tired this week, so don't hold me to that.
I won't ask you about price then at this point. Anyway. Right, we'll move on. We haven't talked about Doctor Wu for a week or two, so here's Doctor Wu's workshop with their version of Leap, who is Cliffjumper, and Pulse Gun, which is Shockwave. I thought they'd done a Shockwave, but maybe I'm going mad. And there they are. There's Leap. It's a decent little Cliffjumper. I mean, they are little, aren't they?
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah.
They are teeny and tiny.
And Andy, you may need them. Remember after.
I know, but you, yeah. How could you ruin my life like that? Yeah, for those wondering what Moff's talking about, so Moff sells it's Infinitor, isn't it? And there's a repaint in particular of it. Which is it? Grand Maximus? So
there's a Grand Maximus, and it's a great wee fun. Like I said this to you before, it's one of my favourite molds. And there was pictures.
I've got Max for those who don't know.
I've got the pictures if we want to show them at some point. But there's pictures of it in base mode with Doctor Who figures on it, and it just was like, I'll be honest, I went and took 2 Doctor Who figures that I wasn't going to keep for myself and put aside a set because I'm like, that's really nice. Really, like,
oh, the benefits of running your own toys.
Yeah.
I'll just put those aside for me.
Cry me a river.
I walked out to my toy store and just picked it off the shelf.
Oh, bastard. Right. Okay. So sorry, keep it clean, keep it PG. Right, so they do look good, and the Doctor Who figures do look with that Infinitor, which is obviously Fort Max, and a very toyetic looking Fort Max. Then we have this. So we knew that AS Toys had done a knockoff of Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime, which we've shown before. That's in people's hands now. People like Zort Rider on his channel did a good little review of it. So they're doing an A, B, and C version, which is the repaints into Ultra Magnus. Sorry, John, but that's what they're calling it. Shattered Glass, Optimus Prime, and Nemesis Prime. And this has definitely increased my interest in this figure, in particular the Nemesis one for myself. But yeah, Moff, you'll be, if you can, I suppose, you'll be getting these, will you?
So I've got the knockoff, the one with the trailer and all that stuff coming, and I'm just waiting for confirmation of these. So I want them for myself. So
yeah.
Cool.
To hell with everyone else. Moff will just get them for himself. It's fine. It's fine. We're not bitter. We're not angry at all.
Right on cue, Lily.
Yeah, I knew
You
it'd be
can't
that.
go wrong with a black private. He was
You
waiting. He's
cannot
already
leave.
typed it. He was just ready to press send.
Or a black t-shirt, Lee. Or a black t-shirt. And you know what I'm talking about, son. Wear it with pride. Right,
Or a,
we
black,
will
or
carry
a
on.
black roller. A black roller as well. And a black
Yes, a black
shockwave.
roller. That's coming up. And a black shockwave. It just all falls into place. So Doctor Who again, obviously. So this is Wheel Hub, which is their Bumble jumper for Ed. And Pulse Gun, which is the Shockwave version of what we call Shockwave. Although I always thought that was grey.
Yeah, I thought it was
Anyway,
grey as well.
Shockwave.
Shockwave. Anyway, you know, basically in the same poses as the Cliff Jumper was,
Yeah.
but in yellow and with a different head, obviously. But these are relatively cheap, and
Yeah, they are.
everybody I know buys these. Like when I've been working on Primetime Toys, and they've come, people have bought. Everybody tells me how much fun they are and everything. They're just really tiny. And I know people said we want Micromasters, and I do, but Micromasters, they're just little, really simple little things. They were just so much fun when you were a kid. That's where that comes from. I don't know. I'll end up buying some of these, won't I? I know I will, and then have it on that Fortress Maximus. But there you go. Definitely a spaceship or submarine and not a gun. And now for the Bayformer fans, here we go. A Legend scale movie Optimus Prime. So Weibo user Cesar has shown this off from Bayland Toys, I think it is, or Byland Toys. Yeah. I mean, it looks all right. Legend scale. I have no idea of the size of the thing. It doesn't give any dimensions on here. But for the Bayformers fans,
could Brandon be persuaded to have a dabble?
I wondered, you see. It's Revenge of the Fallen, I think, Optimus Prime. If my eyes do not
He's in the
deceive me.
chat. He's in the
Might
chat.
be Dark of the Moon, but it's one of the two. And there it is. I mean, not looking bad, is it? Let's be honest. But yeah, again, not for me, Movieverse, but looks all right. I can feel the excitement from you guys. You're obviously big fans.
Moving on.
And because we haven't seen enough Devastators, here's Magic Square's MSB series Devastator. Now, is all of this out yet, or is this the first time we're really seeing it all combined together like this? I can't remember.
I thought
I feel like it is.
Oh well, let's just look at it anyway because it's Devastator. So this is Magic Square's Devastator. So is this the Masterpiece or the Legend scale one? Because I'm
Legends.
I was thinking Legends just because of the level of detail and stuff on it.
Yeah.
I feel like they've released 4 maybe. Maybe this is the picture of Devastator before they released the last 2.
It says it's MSB series, which means very little to me, and I can't tell you who the Weibo user who shared it was because their name is written in a language I cannot read.
It's a repaint from what it says in the chat.
There you go. So we've just got a repaint.
Slight repaint. I thought it was already out. But...
Yeah, well, that must be maybe the other version. And like you said, slight repaint. Let's get the money in. They do.
Yeah, look nice.
And it's clearly posable. Looks like a decent version of Devastator if you're after one. You've got plenty of flipping choice, let's be honest. And there he is about
that outside of China, can't they?
Well done. Well done for using the word flipping, Andy. Well played.
No, thank you.
Well
I thought
done.
I did very well to censor myself.
Yeah, well done.
Because I was going to say, it doesn't matter what I was going to say.
Yeah.
And then, just quickly to finish off, remind me the name of the company again. It's gone.
Loyal
Subject.
Loyal Subjects. They've shown off their Switchblade. This was through, I think the site's called ISN Toys. I think I've said that right. And they had photos of Switchblade. They had loads of photos, but the website wouldn't let me download them. Rude. So this is the only one I managed to get because they shared this on Facebook. And so it's Switchblade. It is my favorite of the masked vehicles. And yeah, it's
cool, isn't it?
Really good looking.
Yeah.
So excited for it. Eh?
Yeah.
I know it is. It's just like, god damn, that looks good. And I wanted to drop it in there. Sorry, go on.
Asking a silly question. Is this the same company that had them on display at the toy fair in New York?
Yes.
It's them.
Yeah.
Oh, they look unreal.
They do. They're just literally just toys that we had as kids. The chance to get them and not have
They're soon, aren't they been released at Comic-Con in San Diego or something? Isn't there
So
something
they go up for you're not allowed to list them. So a certain store may have them, but they're not allowed to tell anybody that they've got them coming, and they're not allowed to list them until the 1st of July, where Big Bad Toy Store have the this was said at the Toy Fair. Big Bad Toy Store have the first exclusive rights to list them, and then other stores can list them after.
Anywhere.
And then they drop on the end of August, and there's 4 vehicles, and there's a San Diego exclusive version of one as well, which will be exciting.
What would be lovely is if they're not going to do the full range of vehicles, which, let's be honest, they probably won't do. But it would be lovely if they did like a core, I don't know, 5 to 10, and you got a Boulder Hill as well, so you could at least have a little bit of a display.
Surely
with
they've
them.
got to do Boulder Hill. Surely, I mean,
Wave one was 8 vehicles, so they're halfway through it, and they've already confirmed they're going to do a wave 2. So, let's hope that they go wave 2 and just finish, that first season off with vehicles, and then do a Boulder Hill. If all you got was a first season, at least you're getting a kind of complete-ish version of something. So, but the hype has been proper big for it. So I'd be shocked if they only do 2 waves. I think you're going to get more thereafter. So that will be where it's interesting.
There's clearly enough interest in it, isn't there? Right.
Yeah.
Shall we do some pickups, gentlemen?
Why
the hell not?
We now return to the Transformers.
Right. So pickups. Now we are not doing our TFUKcon pickups yet, so we will show our TFUKcon pickups at the end of the discussion about TFUKcon later in the show. But did anybody pick up anything else this week? We start with one of our guests, Moth. What have you?
I've got some absolute crackers. So I think
Let me just make you big.
Wait, promises. So I think this is one of my favourite pickups. So,
oh wow,
that's mine.
So and I'm also really chuffed because the number I got. So anybody knows my lucky number's 13, and I got 1331. So I think that's pretty cool. So it's Unicron pattern disc inside. I'll open it at some point and take pictures. But that was I thought I'd totally missed out on it. Saw something on Facebook. It was like, oh my god, I didn't get it. Loads of places had sold out, but I managed to pick up one. Pete, I got something good. It kind of arrived just before I left TFUKcon. I got the Light Up Thunder kits. So I've literally just opened these before we came on. So I haven't done anything with them to kind of test them with the lights and stuff. So I'm looking forward to these, just proper reminiscent of the toys we had as kids. So, and then we've got number 2.
Nice.
Yeah,
they're pretty.
The light up ones are wicked.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to them. I got some cool Turtles things in. Pete, we saw these at the toy fair. They're kind of proper.
Yes.
Let's see if we can get it taken a focus on that. So they're kind of costume ones and like Halloween. I just thought they were really good. So I've only opened the Donatello because it's the best one. But I got all 4. I just use the foot soldier mask as a trick or treat bag. Just lovely, very good fun. And then I actually got some Transformers this week. So I always get my stock of things a little bit after like your main store. So I got the Mandalorian kit.
Nice.
And then I got I still don't know if all, I've got Solus Prime, animated Waspinator, Slingshot, and Airgate. So I'll get these opened at the weekend. I'm really looking forward to it. It's always a sad bit, like you're in a toy store, but you're the last to get a lot of things.
Oh yeah, you're so badly done to, aren't you?
Yeah.
Crimea River.
Waspinator has been. It turned out to be quite rare, hasn't it? I think because it hasn't turned up in Smiths like some people had expected. I think the whole shebang had some in, and I think on Amazon it's a bit more expensive than the others. So yeah, you've probably done quite well. Come on,
it's
Leo.
probably the one I'm looking forward to. I may have extra. Anybody needs one? Let me know.
It's a cracking, it's a cracking little toy.
Fantastico. Thank you, Moth. Sam, have you picked up anything since TFUKcon?
No, just heartache and sadness.
No winners' medals then.
No,
Oh, that's
No,
a shame.
just-
No silverware.
Oh, what a bit.
no silverware. Oh, no, just just pure sadness this week. I'm afraid those violins are out.
Which gave us even more joy, eh?
Yeah, I'm sure
Oh,
Brandon's even more upset because he went. But that's all right.
yes.
all I think.
We've got to feel some sympathy for Brandon on that one, traveling all the way there
He
with some of his
drove there,
family
didn't
in a
he?
camper van. Yeah, I think there were 5 or 6 of them in a camper van that went all the way there for the final. They've got some great photos that I've seen of it, but unfortunately, he didn't go his way and your way, Sam. And
Oh,
yeah,
well.
what can you say? Eh? Let's not
only a
dwell
game.
on that though, because we've
It's
got
only a game.
we've got the whole summer to laugh about that. Let's move on to. TFN's going to be fun, isn't it? Right, let's move on. Peter, what have you got this week?
Just
Show us.
the one non-TFUKcon for me. Really glad that I've now got a Ramjet. Missed out when the first lot were released, so to pick this up, this came yesterday. Haven't opened it, as you can tell. Really looking forward to it. With a bit of luck, we're left with thrust now.
Yeah,
so we can get a thrust.
That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Which will be what, 2027 probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
But yeah, just the one.
Excellent. Oh well, at least you got something, other than pain and tears. Right. So the
I had that last week.
yeah, well, was that the week before last, or was that last week as well? Probably Saturday morning, maybe.
Yeah, Saturday morning. He didn't look too good Sunday morning either, to be fair.
He wasn't the freshest. I've seen him fresher, if I'm being honest. Right. I got one thing this week, which arrived yesterday, and that is I got Red Alert, finally.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, I like him. I will say this. I really like him. Now, I can't compare him to the original because I don't actually own the original. I need to pick one up to do a bit of a comparison. I know Chris McFeely said at TFUKcon that, in his opinion, the original still has the edge over this, even though this is a very good bot. Random. There goes the mic. You still hear me all right?
A non-broken one. The original is less droppable.
Let's drop. Oh no, can't hear you.
It's muted.
Muted when it's unplugged. Sorry about that. The mic went over. No idea why. The mic went over. Just toppled. Stay there, you bitch. Right. Okay. So yeah, I got Red Alert. I like it, but I think it's got a few issues. A few minor issues. Like there's a couple of tolerances that I feel a bit uncomfortable when I'm transforming it. And I just, yeah. I think that's something I've noticed with a lot of them, though. I think Solus Prime's a bit like that. Just like a couple of little bits where it's not necessarily the plastic doesn't feel great when I'm trying to move it. So yeah, but not a bad bot, and I can't complain really, can I? So that's everybody, is it? Have you all had a go?
Yep.
Lovely. So in that case, shall we do a bit of foreplay?
Lynn, these are sex people.
What do you mean?
They're sex swappers. Lynn, this is DEFCON 1. Look. Look. Don't make the same noise as them. Don't think you want to join in.
I've just seen Gav's comment. You are not the leader of the Decepticons yet, so calm down, Gav. Right. Foreplay. So our foreplay is it's not actually a toy or a figure. It's our favorite TFUKcon moment. So it's some moment from the weekend that we felt, amongst such a wonderful kind of event, just stood out that little bit extra for us. So, lads, hopefully you've had a chance to have a think about this. And I know it might be quite hard to pick one, but let's give it a go. Who would like to go first? Fantastic. I'll go first. Before the mic falls over again. Useless frigging thing. Right. So I'm going to look. There we are. There we go. And into the stream we go. Right. So what you should be able to see is a slightly artistic photo that was taken. So this was on the Saturday. Now, I'm going to cheat, by the way. I have got to. This was on the Saturday when I was asked to help out a little bit with the TFUKcon quiz in the evening. and this is somebody filming part of said quiz, which ended up being a bit of it was the chase, wasn't it? But with Transformers, all Transformers tried to be. Yeah, I mean, we've probably thought more about that. So I was asked to be the question master and come and help out with the questions. And, you know, I'm fine with that. That you know, I don't mind standing up in front of a crowd. The problem was we had Chris McFeely as our chaser, wonderful chaser, obviously very knowledgeable. And first of all, he went up against RJ, who many of you know who watch this show, who again is very knowledgeable about Transformers. And what we mostly discovered was that a lot of the first questions that we asked were, let's say, not fact checked. It's almost like somebody went on ChatGPT or just like, you know, randomly typed something into Google and you relied on AI. I mean, I can't point any fingers at anyone in particular. Obviously, it wouldn't be fair, would it, Pete? But I think really we need to make sure we've had it. Anyway, we managed to get through the problems, and thankfully some people had researched their questions. And we managed to get through. And actually, it went really well. It kind of added, I think, to the little event because it was quite funny, if slightly panicky at the time when we thought the questions were terrible. But it worked out all right in the end. So thank you, Sam, for asking me to help out with that. That was
thank you.
That was good fun. But I would be remiss and a liar to say that the peak of the weekend for me wasn't doing the show on the Friday night, because we were quite nervous about it, and I think that's fair to say, Pete, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Because, you know, we wanted to do the show and do it properly, and it went pretty well, I think, apart from one or two technical issues.
It went very well.
It seemed to go down really well. We had a decent-sized crowd in as well, so hopefully the Friday night, you know, was quite successful for you got TFUKcon guys. And yeah, it was just a good laugh, good fun. Went on a bit later than we were expecting, but we managed to get through, do our quiz. Pete was a fantastic quiz master for our quiz, and yeah, just the whole experience was really, really enjoyable and really fun. And it was nice to get some positive feedback from several people afterwards. So yeah, that would be my highlight of it. Pete, would you like to go next?
That was going to be my second one. Saying about Friday night, how it was just lovely. I think that's probably the best way of describing it. It was just lovely. You know, we tried to mimic what we do on a Friday, but you know, a kind of no frills and genuine. But we put a lot of effort into the games and stuff, and it was nice. It was really well received, because ultimately we're only doing it for the people that, you know, have come along on a Friday night. So the fact they enjoyed it was a big tick in the box for us. But for me, my standout moment, I think, was singing "Happy Anniversary" to Simon Furman for his 40-year involvement in Transformers. Certainly the comics. It was quite magic, and dare I say, it felt really wholesome, because he genuinely looked like so appreciative, yeah, and happy about it. It also looked like you could see him doing the maths in his head. He was like, "Oh my god, yeah, 40 years is a bloody long time." But it just felt for me, I felt it summed up the whole convention. It was just a nice experience and a nice atmosphere and a nice thing to do, and I think that sums up. And nice isn't, you know, me playing it down. It's just, it felt so warm and just so nice and lovely the whole weekend. And I feel like that moment for me was just yeah.
Can I just share? Look, so what we did, for those that weren't there, Jamie from Transformers Show managed to sort me out a scan of Simon Furman's first comic that he wrote. We printed off a copy of it, and we got everybody in attendance to sign it, and it was a thank you from us to him for his effort. I think that's the, you know, it did sum it up, because it is that aspect of it's a community event, and it was a community taking that chance to say thank you. TFUKcon is our mark of respect for the amazing work that was done in the TFUK comic, and you know that's original Marvel stuff from the UK. So it was just a lovely gesture. I did also take a second copy of that print and get Simon to send it to Jamie as a thank you for putting the effort in to get that that sorted for me. So, and I think that's a lovely pick, Pete, because it was just such a wholesome moment.
Definitely
I know Simon really touched by that. He pulled me aside it later on and said that. So I think that speaks volumes.
I mean, if we are discussing lowlights, waking up Sunday morning was a little bit of a low light for me. I'm not gonna lie. Breakfast was far more emotional than what I'm used to on a Sunday.
It's amazing
But
how
still-
you feel when you go to bed at 1:30 in the morning, isn't it?
But still, we're not discussing lowlights, so let's just leave it there.
We'll probably get into that at the end discussion.
Yeah.
As the organisers, or part of the organisers, obviously, because there were other people involved, and hopefully we can give them a shout out as we go on. What were your particular highlights, other than things like the Simon Furman anniversary moment?
How long have I got? How long have I got?
Well, keep it short. You can add some more in the discussion. How's that?
Okay. So I suppose for me, the biggest highlight is giving other people opportunities to get involved in stuff. And Andy, you know this. My highlight for TFN August, for example, last year was giving you an opportunity to get behind the stall and watching you witness it from a different side. And I think that's the bit, getting you doing the show on the Friday night was fantastic. Like, I think he's delivered an absolute exceptional bit of entertainment on a Friday night. Giving the opportunity to Sam, giving the opportunity to Russ from Toys R Us to get involved. And in the last few weeks, the two of them really stepped up in terms of, taking things off my plate and going, right, we'll take that, we'll run with it, we'll get it. Sam pulled off the absolute gem that I'll let him talk about because I'm sure it'll be part of his highlights. But just watching other people be able to see what it's like to be involved from a different side is just a joy. Like, TFUKcon is such a joy to be involved with. I started just an attendee. We were talking about this at the weekend, Andy, but I went as an attendee, had no idea who Andy really was. I knew Greg, that was it. Met yours as fans, kind of developed from there. To then being asked to interview, to then last year starting to run it, to then this year kind of organising a lot more of it. It just has been an absolute joy. But watching Sam and Russ just shine in so many moments, watching you in the Friday shine, just an absolute pleasure. And you feel so honoured and privileged to have kind of seen these from the other side. So I had a fantastic weekend, and I was incredibly proud of everybody involved for what we've managed to pull off. For such a small convention to have had somebody's first ever Bob Skier coming over from America for his first ever UK convention. Like, our little con, how did we pull that off? Sam pulled off an absolute world day, and you're just like, how for our little con? It's just how does that happen? So, and it just happens from people having that admiration and want to be a part of it. So, I just spent the weekend being proud of other people. So it was an absolute joy.
Okay, so that's you and Pete who've made me look like a bit of a selfish dick. Okay, we'll move on. Sam, what have you got for me? Unbelievable. Next time we vet these responses. Sam. My fingers over the kick button.
I don't know. I was thinking about it. I think one of the highlights, I think, ended up in a bit of a cock up. Really, it was the Friday night. Doing the sort of live stream before you guys did your show, which was all good fun and it went well and it was great. But just halfway through, when technology has a fit and the stream ends up upside down, and I don't know what I'm doing because it's a new toy I bought and I haven't got a clue how to use it. And Russ's stream is upside down and I'm trying to fix it. And not only that, people are looking at, and it was just, I don't know, it kind of summed up that this is something that people do as a hobby, and when something silly like that goes wrong, it just sort of shows how much fun it is. And that was kind of a highlight. Oddly enough, it was one of those moments you're like, oh god, why has this happened? But then it's like, well, it's quite fun in the end. And I think the bit on the Saturday night when we were doing some of the games, I think that was good. Just good fun. But I think all of it really was just, it was all a highlight. I think I just walked around a couple of times on the Saturday. I was just doing some video, but then just walking around, and that's a highlight, and that sounds mundane, but it's just a highlight, just wandering around and seeing people having a good time, and I was having a good time as well. So yeah, I think. But yeah, the Friday night was, I did enjoy that because I think there's more people there than I expected. Not that would have made much difference, but it was felt like a bit of a little party going on, and yeah, it was good. Yeah, but yeah.
It was a lovely
Upside down streaming. There you go. That's the one we'll do for next year.
It's the future. That's what we'll do next time.
Yeah.
We're streaming live for Australia.
Yeah. There's a
but you know what? But because of what what the event is about and what it symbolizes, it doesn't matter.
No.
People giggled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And do you know what? It was easily fixed, and no one died.
No.
It's fine. But it just that's another example of how to sum up the event is like more people laughed and went, what you doing?
And that's the point.
Right. And that's the thing. And I think sometimes we take life far too seriously.
Yeah.
I heard something on Saturday that really struck a chord with me, and it was somebody saying that the first 2 years it felt like a fan gathering, and in a really good way. Like that's not in any detriment. It was the first 2 years where like a fan gatherings, we're all just round the tables. But the last 2 years felt like real cons, and from the effort that Luke and I, Sam, Russ have put in the last year to get that point. So many weeks. I think every year, if we just improve by 5-10%, you're doing well. I think this year we improved by 11%, 12%. But just, I think that just somebody said I overheard that on Saturday night, and I was just like, that's a lovely sentiment. So it doesn't happen with these folk, but all of you, to be fair, help that happen. So well done. Thank you.
It shows how quick these things come together as well, because I sent these guys, I was on a plane home about 2 weeks before and I couldn't sleep and real panic. You know what you do when you can't do anything else but think, and sort of panicking about all this stuff. And I wrote this ridiculously long message of all this stuff that I thought we had to do and I hadn't done, or we got to do this, got to do that, and then as the 2 weeks went by, it all comes together, and it's sort of all worth the hassle. But it's interesting how it all comes together, but it's good. Yeah, loved it. Yeah.
Brilliant, fantastic. Right, shall we move on a little bit and do a little bit of social corner? If you're ready, Pete.
I'm ready.
And we'll use the intro that went down so well at TFUKcon.
My English friends call me Lorna. I'm coming out of the fauna. If my cat died, I would mourn her. It's time for social corner.
And that's how you do it. You let it play out.
Some people hadn't seen the full video until Friday night.
We played it on the Friday and just let it play, and that went down a storm, didn't it? Right, okay.
It was 3 hours long. That was ridiculous.
Right, here we go. Take us away, Pete.
So we've seen Jim Stafford stuff before, but here's a more Wreckers-centric one, an exceptional artist. I need to read a thesaurus or something, because we keep using the words exceptional and talented and special, but they genuinely are. Yeah. It would be wicked if Jim Stafford made an appearance at TFN one time, if he hasn't already been there. We've certainly only been aware of his. I personally have only been aware of his stuff in the last 6 months or so. But if he was at TFN, I definitely would be dropping a shed load of cash. Very busy on Blue Sky with a commission. Astro Train does not get enough love, and there was just something about this. We have some. Again, and I know I've said this pretty much every week, but we have some exceptionally talented people in the fandom.
Without doubt.
Yeah, and I think we're lucky and we take it for granted, and we're quite blessed, and it's very. We could have a show in itself going through stuff. Thanks, Gav. He was at TFN last year. Hopefully, he'll be there this year. Jim, I'll be coming. Andy Turnbull in the chat.
On the chat.
Perfect. Well, there you go. See, right now, if I only predict the lottery numbers. Kevin City soundtrack. There was just something about this. There was just something about this skywalk. Well, it could be any of the seekers, couldn't it?
Yeah. I wish I could draw like that.
I know.
I just wish I could draw.
I mean, yeah. To be fair, yeah. Stickman would be happy with that.
Even you'll be on a call. I'll be on a call, and I will not reveal my employer, but I'll be on a call and I'll be doing some doodling. And even when you get off the call, you go, I don't even know what that is.
What is that?
What's it meant to be? Oh, it's meant to be a house.
Yeah.
But no, and we encourage that, from a media creation perspective, any of these photos or artwork that these guys are doing, please, go and check it out on social media. I'm looking at Blue Sky because I'm staying away from Twitter on occasion, but please, we encourage you, just go and take a look at this stuff. Spencer Butler with the new HasLab Omega Prime. He had a couple of great photos. Again, I picked what I thought was the best one.
Nice.
And that was it. Very short and sweet. Short and sweet social corner this week.
Mm.
Well, that's allowed. That's allowed because it'll allow.
Thanks to the guys in the chat for about Jim Stafford.
Yeah. It was nice to see Gav and Andy Turnbull in the chat as well. Right, we'll move on to discussion time then, because this is where we get into the meat of TFUKcon and also get to share some of the photos of the event, which hopefully people like to see.
We now return to the Transformers.
Right. I think probably, I don't know, it's the best thing maybe, Moff, for you and Sam to kind of explain, just in case anybody's watching this and doesn't know what TFUKcon was, maybe just give us your own little summary of the event itself and kind of how you got on. And then we can just talk generally about what we enjoyed, what we liked, what memories we have, that kind of stuff. And I'll just share some photos while you're talking, if that's all right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sam, do you want to go? Do you want me to go?
You go on. I'll follow if you want. Yeah.
No worries. No worries.
You're the
Okay.
brave.
I don't know about that. Oh, that's a good picture of the four of us. So this year we were joined by Russ and Sam on our committee to help us organise and come up with ideas and get the convention over the line. We came up with a tagline this year of the UK's coziest fan convention. This is absolutely all about the communities in the UK getting together, whether it be from YouTube, from Discord, from Blue Sky, from whatever. Communities getting together with like-minded people and getting to talk about things we love. This was from the Friday night. This is what I was alluding to earlier on. So for those who don't know, haven't seen it on social media or where they are, on the Friday, we had a world exclusive, which feels absolutely crazy. A world first, pretty much world's first, we're fairly confident of. Sam had managed, through his connections with Blockies, to get us Defender Wave 3 and Galaxy Wave 7. Is that right, Sam? Is that the right ones? Yep. I have got Sam's pictures of them, Andy, as well, at some point, if you want, we can talk through them.
Do you want to pop those in now? And then I'll show the rest of the photos afterwards, seeing as we're discussing it. So you can present, and then at least that way people know exactly what you're talking about, because it was a bit of a kind of a world exclusive, I guess. It was
just about,
yeah,
pretty much. Wow, yeah. There's a few. They were. I was told.
Shall we say a Western exclusive? Maybe. I think that's fair to say.
That might be more.
Yeah,
more. There was one or two people in sort of Singapore area that had them. I think I was told that it was only dealers that had them, but it doesn't matter, does it? So that's the Galaxy,
yeah. And Sam's done amazing pictures with them. We got 2 sets of them. So we opened a set live on the Friday night and built a box of both on the Friday night. managed to steal Peter and get him involved just to kind of help us get through them. Well, it doesn't let me kind of slide through them. That's annoying. There we go. So they're just absolutely gorgeous. Just your pictures, Sam, just amazing. Personally, I was over the moon. I unboxed that Soundwave and unboxed the other Soundwave, and I was like, I've won.
You're retired now.
And I wasn't trying to do what we should all done, Andy, and I was doing a bit of a selfish one. I'd have said unboxing 2 Soundwaves would have been my highlight weekend. As we did the live stream, none of us has opened these. None of these has seen them. There's extra bits. There's new bits. There's change to it. It was like, oh, wow, look at this. I think that made it even more special. Because if it had just been the same kind of thing, it would have been like, that's cool. But let's just give it an extra bit of it. So Sam has done amazing pictures throughout these just to kind of showcase the different bots. Absolutely stunning. And then I will share the Defenders. So we'll start from the wee shot. We look at a wee shotwave. That's just so cool. And then the Soundwave's just gorgeous. We didn't get any chase Soundwaves in either case. Right. So the Soundwave is the one that's got 3 versions. So there's this one. There's then one that comes with Ravage, and then there's one that comes with Ravage and Laserbeak. And we just got the plain one, but he's very, very cool. Same mold as the gold one. And then you've also going to have Skywarp. And then some of these just upset me now because I'm like, I want my Devastator.
Yeah, Blockies are just mugging us off at this point.
Then,
where the hell is Devastator?
Exactly. Yeah. You get the Shattered Glass ones. The Jazz was really nice. I was really surprised with the Jazz. Gold Megatron, like sweet.
That's lovely.
Megatron. Oh, it was really nice in hand.
Yeah. I've had too many beers. I can't get to it.
Shattered Glass Optimus Prime looks nice as well. The Grimlock, look at that.
So this was a Grimlock we opened on a Friday night. So this was the Grimlock's the Autobot chase one. So there's a plane, there's a shiny, and then there's a shiny with wings. And then Friday night we opened this, and then Russ did a live stream unboxing just a random box, and he got the ultra rare Grimlock. Managed to unlock both the rare Grimlock. So we've not seen the original, but that was gorgeous. I have to say, that was
best figure of the line.
I think it was.
In your unbiased opinion.
I think Soundwave's good. Like, Soundwave's my favourite, but that shiny Grimlock was special. And then we cheeky hot rod just to finish it off.
Yeah.
So no, I think that's. I was going to quickly show one last picture with the. I like this picture. This was so what we managed to pull off was Sam and I have been talking for ages that the one thing we've been really bad at as a convention, I'm really bad at it for Primetime Toys, is getting pictures of stuff. And when Sam and I were chatting, it was like, we need to get more pictures. Sam has done an amazing job of getting so many pictures throughout the weekend. But this was one of my favourite things we did, is get one of these kind of Instagram frames so that people could get a picture in it. And we've got some really cool pictures from it. So a well done to Looking for helping pull it together, and then a well done to Sam for taking the pictures. But that's a personal favourite. I'll be getting that printed off and put it on my wee memory board. So yeah. That was
you might find that photo comes up again. Yeah. Just a little spoiler alert. I think these photos are pretty much in time order, pretty much. So you might be able to kind of narrate us through how it went as we went along as well.
That's the Shadow game with Pete and Paul.
Pete, I feel like it looks like I'm parading Paul.
Yeah.
You probably were.
Why have you come dressed as a boy band member?
Yeah, he did. Where's his show T-shirt? Scandalous.
Why didn't you come as dressed up boy band member?
Oh yeah, great. No, great. You watch it, TFN.
The show merch on. And yeah, you get to see some of the people who are attending. There's Russ up at the top there, PJ behind, who did a sterling job on the what do we call it? The entrance,
on the door,
yeah, on the door, yeah. Him and Gav really helped out, and really nice lads, both of them, aren't they? So.
Yeah, both of them. Yeah. Just all those smiles. Look at all those smiles.
There's more else coming on later. I think this must have been when we were getting started and nobody knew what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
Bob Skier front was so weird because so many people said to me, "Did you see him laughing his head off throughout it?" And I was like, "No." Every time I looked at him, he looked really puzzled. Like, what the hell is this?
I think he was puzzled but enjoyed it. I think, yeah.
Well, he said to me during it, he said, "Why is nobody filming this? Somebody should be filming all of this. This is great."
Yeah.
So I knew at that point, well, it's going down quite well. But obviously, we didn't have anybody filming it at the time. And we probably needed another mic just because poor Pete sat there. Pete, you can speak when I pass you the mic, and that's the only time.
Not before.
And I know there's several people in the chat who were attending, and I'm sure you'll see yourselves in the photos. There's lovely Greg, Simon, Optimus Prime, who did a great job as well, especially with the tech stuff and helping out.
Friday was just a chill night, wasn't it?
It was. It was
a chill night.
Surprising number of people and such a lovely atmosphere. And it
was our first Friday night where we've actually put something on. Like previous, it's just been a social. Let's get drunk.
Yeah, which it kind of still was. But now with entertainment.
And it was a really nice feeling. It was a really nice, relaxed atmosphere and a good laugh. I think every day that was there, all I heard was really good, positive things. So, well done to you.
I'm not sure what you're thinking at that moment in that photo, Moth.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. This is why I said it wasn't family friendly.
Pete is our roving reporter there. And there's Bob thinking, what the hell have I let myself in for? But then I remember I was sitting with him after the show and for a good half an hour having a really good chat. And he's such a nice bloke. He just chatting about everything, and we ended up on American politics, so you can guess how in depth that conversation got. But it was just a really nice guy. He was saying how much he was enjoying himself and how nicely he was being treated as well. I think he was genuinely taken aback. Mr. McFeely was in attendance and was a pleasure to be around as well.
And you talk about, we've obviously had Chris on the show a few times, and he's been a stalwart at TFN for many, many years, and I think it's fair to say that he is a celebrity in our fandom. And to see him, the way he interacted with people on Friday and Saturday, I think showed a measure of the man. He spoke to everybody. He got involved with everything. He sat and had a drink with us Friday night. He sat and had a drink with us Saturday night. He's just such a great guy, and we are biased, but he's a legend.
Yes,
absolute bloody legend.
He's a genuinely nice guy, isn't he? He really is.
Yeah.
And it always sounds weird to say it, but these are people we watched on YouTube potentially for years, and to us they are celebrities. And then he sat with us for a good hour and a half, 2 hours on Saturday night, to the point where late at night when we should have all literally were the last people in the bar, and he was like, "Oh, well, I shouldn't really have one more drink." And we went, "Oh, fair enough." And he went, "Well, I'll have one more drink." He sounded a little bit rough the next day, but and so many great people that we all got to meet and have a chat with. So it was just, it's just a wonderful atmosphere, wasn't it?
Yeah,
the whole thing. This is the Saturday now, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
But look at the smiles. You can judge an event by the amount of smiles you
This
see.
is still Friday night, I think.
No, it's Saturday morning, I think.
Because
it's light outside. It's light outside.
Okay.
That was a giveaway.
I remember there's Gavin PJ on the door. There's just some really nice photos in here as well, Sam. So you've done a great job with capturing kind of the spirit of the event.
Yeah, I need to do better on lighting. That's what I've got to get better. The camera's not great, but
yeah, I was going to say that, but I didn't.
You just, whenever you see a picture of Rohan smiling, you just think swindled, didn't you?
Yeah.
You're like, genuinely.
He's got that look to his face. He's like, "I'm going to take your money." I know I am. Simon with his lovely hair. We were discussing his hair, whether it was going to be a permanent feature. Nathan, Brit Formers, which I'll mention later on, but obviously Brit Formers comic we've mentioned on the was going to call it a podcast, but on the show before, and he has given us a print which I have in my Genius left downstairs.
Nathan gave us he supplied us a piece of artwork that we then gave away. We did a big surprise and delight, so we didn't tell him we were giving free stuff, but he had given us a print that we printed off, and everybody got a free Fort Max style print. Oh, there you go.
Yes. Well, it's funny you should say that, because that's what I was about to do.
Andy's got the UK version, Sam's got the Australian one.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
What is wrong with you?
Sorry.
What I was trying to say was, God, it's the same as your stamp. What I was trying to say was that I said print. I misspoke there. It wasn't a print. It was a piece of his original art used to create.
Oh, wow.
And he's given that to us. And at some point, obviously, as we're building up TFN, there'll be some more. We'll be dropping some more information about how it's going, and we're going to, I think, do it as maybe a bit of a giveaway. I'll put it in the prize pot for TFN as well, so that people can get an actual original piece of artwork for the Brickformers. I don't know who that lad was. He was really dodgy. He was selling stuff.
Yeah, who does he look like?
His parents need to do something about him, I think. Yeah,
he did some amount of selling at the weekend that cost me a chunk of change. I'll be honest.
He was schooling me.
He was in charge of Blocky's part of the chat. So I brought a pile of Blockies because we knew that it'd be popular. He did a great job with it and had great fun. Oh, look at that! Look, that's a great picture.
What was interesting about when I took these pictures?
Oh, that's a good one. I've not seen all these.
So I went up to people with it the right way so that when I gave it to them, I could just take the picture and just said to people, do you want to play my game? I don't know why I said that, but hardly...
All right, so I want to play a game.
But hardly anyone asked what was on the other side. They just went, yeah, held it.
We'd all seen you.
We're going to have fun at TFN with a different one then.
Yeah.
Trustworthy face.
Oh, they're good.
Who's that guy? And you did a really great job off with obviously the hosting of the panels and things, and you're getting old hat at it now. This is during the daytime, so you can see, that there's people in the dealer hall area, in the back of dealer hall, but you know what I mean, in the back area where the dealer area was. But the panels all seem to be well attended, and it was just an all-round really great event at the end of the day.
I did get starstruck. I've interviewed some good people now, but More Than Meets the Eye is my favourite bit of Transformers lore. And I was sitting there looking at James Roberts and Simon Furman, just thinking, how lucky am I to get interviews to people? And then my mind went blank. I genuinely looked at them and went, I have nothing to ask you, and this is the start of the interview. This is not good. So I asked that generic question just to kind of kick off, and then all of our guests we've continually had the last few years that I've interviewed have just been such a joy, and it's easy to interview them because it's a conversation. It's not an interview; it's a flowing conversation, and they make that happen. So I'm very privileged and lucky to have been in front of all you wonderful people asking these people questions.
It was great to get James Roberts and Simon Furman together, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, when you look at two individuals that certainly for the UK fandom, they've done so much with their writing. If you take away the cartoons, take away the toys, we only had comics for such a big chunk of time when the Western media moved on, and Simon started it and James carried on the mantle. To have them both together, Transformers royalty.
How long has James been doing it? So if Simon's been 40, how long has James been?
It was his first bit in Last Stand of Records, which I believe is 15 years. 15 Last Stand of Records. Whoa!
So there's a story. There's a story behind this picture. So the running joke for about 10 years is the first couple of selfies we take of each other, I always look completely bemused and I want to be somewhere else, and then I do a nice one. However, she didn't take the picture of this one. Sam took it and she didn't notice it. So I just got away and go,
oh, beautiful.
Brilliant. She'll be overjoyed when she sees this.
Yeah, great. Thanks.
Anytime. I was about 5 or 6 of you. So which are the best ones? I mean,
It was Sam. It was just so easy to
my favourite's
post
that
for.
one.
Yeah.
That's my favourite. But you know, and then the little sassy. Anyway, and yeah, there's Ryan there, another top
Representative.
lad. Me and Kerry working hard or hardly
Well,
working.
hardly working.
Yeah. Do you know what's nice? The admiration you could hear from James Roberts about Simon Furman. Like, if you've ever chatted to him about Simon, you know that is absolutely genuine. But it was lovely to hear that on stage, just hear that kind of bit through. And I think again, back to your point, Peter, of just the love fest that there is for Simon. Oh, that's a great picture. How fun is that? The love fest for Simon isn't just from us; it's from within the industry as well. And I think that speaks volumes, like how important he is to the continued fandom, especially in the UK. You know. I think he's popular in America, but I'm confident he's not as popular as he is in the UK. There's a real love for him in the UK, so it was great. And then Bob's incredible to chat to.
Chris really looks so like, oh
yeah, he thought about it. He was just doing a normal. He went, no, that's not right, and he more of a pose.
This was before RJ beat him.
yeah. We should mention that, but probably when we get to that bit, yeah, he did lose.
Don't worry, RJ will mention that for the rest of time.
I got on Packer and his other half there.
It's
just that Matt smiles and happy faces.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Lovely. I think it's a great idea. I mean, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if you see more of this. You know, other conventions might pick up this idea, a quick go around. And there's the moment you were talking about earlier on to celebrate his anniversary, the signed print from his first comic. And yeah, he did look genuinely moved. He really did.
I mean, surely when you have that job, you have an idea, I guess, maybe not an arrogance, but you want to do something that perhaps will stand out forever and have a legacy. But Simon Furman can't look back and go, oh, I knew this was going to happen. You know, 40 years on,
not a chance.
to be so revered and still so well loved and still be coming to these events and talking to people that are as mad about it as he is. It's
He's spoken about it, hasn't he? That he never expected that he would come to these things after all these years, like you said, and that the love for him and what he did and the reverence that we have for it.
And I have to say that our convention would not be where it is without Simon Furman's support. From day one, his support has been outstanding, helping us get guests. Andy, you and I had the absolute privilege to speak to Bob Bardiansky 2 years ago. That happened because of Simon Furman. Not just, it wasn't we asked him. Simon said, I can get you an interview with Bob Bardiansky. Would you like that? Like, there is no way he needs to do that for us. But he's always asking, what can I do? How can I help? And it just, my aspiration for him is just huge. Chris McFeely as well, to be fair. Chris said to me last year, he's like, I love coming. What can I do? And I have wound him up for a year, telling him we were going to get into the pole dance. That's a 2026 event.
Yeah.
He genuinely was like, I was like, do you need to know anything? He's like, nope. And he's like, I'm up for anything. Just make it. You make sure you're using me to your full ability. And he was great. He was very giving of his time, and so very appreciative of all of you.
Fantastic. Oh, we should mention this as well, Sam. This was a really nice to see. So you got to obviously do it wasn't just YouTubers, was it? It was more like influencers panel. And obviously you've got our own Paul, who was nominated by us to go up so that me and Pete could keep drinking. And do you know what? Matthew very kindly asked if one of us wanted to come and join in with this panel. And Paul straight away was so excited about it. So me and Pete were let him do it. We'll have a drink and sit back and relax. And I don't know if he noticed. I know he did notice because I saw his face. But when everybody was introduced on stage, and when Paul was introduced, me and Pete deliberately booed him and loudly, just to see and his face. So that was us, Paul. We're just because we love you, just because we love you.
And now we tell him.
He's not here, so I can tell him now. And Russ, and obviously Chris McFeely, and Sam, obviously yourself. And that was a really good panel as well. I thought that was that was quite interesting to just you giving your little insights into kind of what you do and everything.
Yeah, I hate sitting in front of people like that talking,
Yeah.
but it's all right when you're behind a screen like this. But I did enjoy it. It was good, and I think I can't remember who I said it to, and it might be you, but I think the others are so well versed at doing it and carried it quite well. And I think with Paul asking some of the later questions and Chris and Russ being able to just talk as well as they do, it made it a bit easier. But I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was good. There was some good stuff said.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll do it again. It's practice, isn't it? It's it once. But
you always feel, mate, though, that you come across not you, but as an individual, you always feel like you come across worse than you did. But you really held your own up there, mate. So don't do yourself a disservice.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
No,
Yeah, you did do very
great.
well, mate. Yeah. And like you said, it was nice that kind of Paul fell into his natural hosting mode and just came up with a few questions just to keep it going. And Russ and Chris, you know, those guys are great at just getting across kind of their points and stuff. And it was a really nice panel and really good fun.
I think just on that, just before on Russ, especially with that, I think in the evening, you know, the Saturday evening bit, I think, and the bits on the Friday with his stuff, he does a very, very good job of I don't know what you want to call it, hosting, MC, part, whatever that bit is. And I'm very glad he was there for that bit, because I mean, I didn't have to do any of that. And hence why, Andy, you were so kind to fill in for that, because that was one thing I certainly didn't want to do. But I thought, but yeah, I thought he did a good job on that. And Chris is someone that you can just sit and listen to, isn't he? He's got that way.
Voice of an angel.
Yeah, but you just start listening, don't you? And like, yeah, keep going.
Yeah, he's just so knowledgeable, and at the end of the day, you like listening to somebody, and he's not. It's not boring stuff, you know. You could sit and listen to for ages, like we do with the basics, but you just don't get bored. There's that lovely shot, I think, Moff, that you were talking about, which is a really nice photo of the four of you. And you know, we should mention, so obviously there was you four, there was Moff and Sam and Luke and Russ from Toys R Us, and Luke Gardner from TFUK. We should shout out some of the other guys as well who were involved in it. So Moff, do you want to just give some props to the people who helped out?
Then as you say, I think you mentioned it earlier on, we had PJ and Gav on the door, did an absolutely fantastic job making sure people get in and get sorted. Simon Odd does all of our tech on the day, but helps with a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. I've already got them working on stuff for next year because I'm a slave driver. And then Looking Monks, who has stepped up and done a lot more this year, helping us produce a lot of artwork. And again, I've already got them working on stuff for next year. I've got a wee picture of the banner for announced next year. That's just brilliant, isn't it?
So people should know the guy in the black t-shirt will come up during the TFUKcon pickups, because I grabbed a couple of things off him, and that's Paul Bryan, who's a fantastic guy. Him and his mate Gary Churn, who were there selling, but he is known as the Yorkshire Capaldi, and the lads turned up with t-shirts. Was it PJ's wife or partner had made these t-shirts really last minute for them, like a tour t-shirt, because Paul is the Yorkshire Capaldi, and it's the Cob or Cake tour, which we're all looking forward to. Coming to a working men's club near you soon, and it was really lovely to see him walk around those t-shirts. Just big smile. And then for some reason we've got at the end us doing our little bit on Friday night again. Pete still hasn't got a mic. Oh, crud! On the table, we've not mentioned this yet. The giveaway. That was a story in itself. So, do you want to explain it quickly, Moff? What you had to give away?
So,
and who won?
Sam Welton. Oh no, I can't believe he won. Sam Welton, who is Sam's Forge, creates some incredible custom figures and is also designed. Part of the inspiration behind the free artwork is he is the engineer genius behind MMC's upcoming Super Max, I think it's called. Their Fort Max based in IDW style, which should be coming out beginning of next year. And Sam very, very, very kindly donated a couple of Whirl figures for us to raffle off and auction off. So we did a raffle, and I was convinced, right, okay, we'll do the raffle. People will be gutted they've not won it, and we'll spend a lot of money on an auction. And I was one of those. You've done a great job here.
Whoa!
I do have. If you want a picture of it, I've got a picture.
Almost saw a different helicopter.
It's fine now. Helicopter. Anyway, there you go. Sorry, carry on.
We did the raffle. We had numerous prizes in the raffle, and the raffle was good fun. And RJ, well, man, it was. We joked about who had won it, and then look, showed me the name, and I was like, no, RJ, no. And RJ, over the moon to have won a cracking figure. So he is. I'm really chuffed because I knew he really wanted one. So I'm genuinely glad he got one. Yeah. And then we auctioned off the other two. And I'll be honest, that was a huge deal breaker in terms of how well the convention did. So Sam has absolutely Sam Wilton. That is not you, Sam. You've got no thanks. Sam Wilton has had much of my praise and appreciation this week. This is a very much a community convention. We all put in our time and effort. You know, none of us take any money or any funds. Like we all pay their own way to get there, try and get this over the line. And people like Sam donating things like that just massively help. So. Honestly, the appreciation for everybody that helped and support to make this a success this year. Can't tell you how much we all appreciate you. Luke and I, we had a phone call like the Wednesday before, and we were just like, how's this? The convention having a world exclusive figure, set of figures, having a UK first guest, all the stuff that happened, just, you know, it sold out. Like we had 3 tickets left getting into the weekend. I think we actually had 4 walk-ups, but there's probably 1 or 2 people that we sold out. Like, just honestly, Luke and I, from having conversations the week after last year's about what did we want to do going forward, bringing on the Sam and Russ and starting to think ideas, just incredibly grateful. And just seeing all these pictures, all the people smiling, just makes every little bit less worth it.
It's fair to say Lily had a great time on Friday night.
Too good. This was the end of our entertainment, our show on the Friday night. So part of what we did as part of the competition, or towards the end, sorry, there was a Blockies build competition because we didn't know you guys were doing one on Saturday as well. But anyway, we did one, and there's the 6 people in teams of 2 who competed, and they all did really, really well under pressure. And as you can see, Lee is already an extremely happy man, and he got happier as the evening went on. Probably felt less happy in the morning, but he was very chuffed at that point. And they all did a fantastic job with those Blockies. You mentioned Lucan Monks, and Lucan is such a top bloke anyway. But like, his t-shirt designs are great. The amount of his t-shirts that were there on show throughout the whole weekend, it must be. I said to him, it must be great to see them there. And he was like, "Yeah, it is. It's even better when there's more because I've sold more."
He literally sold his convention t-shirt off his back, so he doesn't have one for himself because he didn't want to disappoint somebody who wanted one. And he was like, "I'd rather you had it than I had it." So,
which is the kind of guy Lucan is, though. At the end of the day, it's like, you know, he will put, you know, other people first. And yeah, top bloke, absolutely top bloke. Unless anyone has anything they desperately want to add at this point, shall we show off what we got?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Sam, as you didn't really have anything other than your own personal misery caused by your football team to show off before, would you like to show off your pickups first? I will, just like with Moth, I will do my best to make you big. Here we go.
Let's see what I didn't buy any toys, actually, oddly enough.
Get out.
No, sorry. There's one I got. So, robots in design, is that right? There's one of the artists there. So, he did me a little sketch of Jetfire, Skyfire, however you want to call it. So, I thought that was quite neat. Let's see if I can pick these
very cool
without dropping them. So, I bought the rest of the stuff all from Lee, which is, I can't see if it's going to all get in. But
that was a good
one. That print there. Sorry, the light's shining on it. There we go.
Gorgeous, that.
It's incredible. Yeah. And then the back's the best. Well, not best, but then the sort of the black and white.
I never seen it at the black and white bit.
Did it have a black and white? Oh no, I didn't see it.
Yeah, so it's all part of in the same bit. But it's just beautifully done. He was saying he'd like to do this one as a few others because he thinks he could, I'll do it loads better. And I'm kind of looking at it going, really? How?
That's the artwork I've got signed by Peter Cullen and Frank Welker.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, gorgeous. I love it. Absolutely love that work. Oh.
And then the other two, just because it sums up not just my childhood, but are all, I think, is another one of his prints, which is kind of the whole.
That's wicked.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
The whole cast, which is just wonderful. And then again, it's the line drawing behind it.
Wow.
And then the other one, just to go with that, which I didn't spot, it's almost like he was a salesman. But then the baddies, but yeah, the baddies version of it.
Yeah, that's really nice.
And then again,
So what's the idea with the black and white ones, Sam? Are you going to have a go at colouring them in yourself?
Yeah, I think I was going to do that. Yeah.
Great by numbers.
Then go show them and say, I've ruined your artwork. You need those ones. Do you remember when you were young?
Sorry, go on, sir.
Sorry, when you were young, and it was the ones that they had the sort of felt guy.
Yes.
The lines were sort of embossed, so you couldn't go out of the lines. I'd need that, I think. And then the other thing, where is it? So this, just because I thought this was a nice touch. I don't know much about it, but so Bob found me later in the afternoon and then gave me a signed script.
Wow,
from Gargoyles.
So he just gave me that, which I thought was a very nice touch of him. He's very nice, obviously a very nice gentleman. So I thought that was very nice of him. And that was it. So it was just artwork, really. And then obviously my t-shirts and the bits and bobs that we got on entry. But yeah, I didn't buy any toys. No, I kind of forgot. There was a book that Simon had on his stand, and I can't remember what it was called, but it had all the bios in it. It was a hardback book that he had on his table, and annoyingly wanted to buy it and then forgot. So I might hopefully find that at TFN if he's having a table. But it's like anything you keep buying, couldn't you? Because all that artwork that they all have there's not a bad thing in there, and you kind of go, I want that, but you have to stop.
You run out of wall space, though, don't you? There's so much stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what you need, Pete? I'll put it in the chat. There's a frame, and I've got John Paul Bovey to thank for this. At 2019, I was chatting to John Paul Bovey about that aspect that I keep buying, and I don't have anywhere to put these. And he's like, "Do you know I've got the same issue?" He's like, "There's this frame you can get, and you put it on the wall, and you just kind of open it, and all the other pictures are behind it." And I was like, "That sounds good." Facebook that night advertised this thing to me. I come in the next day to the convention, and Sunday, I was like,
"Yeah,
I know." I was like, "Look at this," and he's like, he literally bought it as I bought one. So it's called the Da Vinci frame, and it stores all your artwork, and then you just literally push a button, it opens up, and you just dead easily swap them. It's a lifesaver.
Yeah,
so I'll have one. Yeah,
I'll share that. I may buy
cheaper than moving.
Buying another house for wall. Yeah, another wall.
Yeah,
build a wall.
Get an extension. Right. Moth, do you want to do yours next?
Yeah.
Let's see what you picked up.
I didn't get much either.
Almost like you're working.
I know. I did pick up a couple bits of art, but I never brought them through. I did grab this from Simon Firm. I always like to grab something from each of the guests, obviously, but I managed to pick this up from Simon, which is a beast of a book, so I'm looking forward to picking up that. Rohan had secured me one of these just for fun. I just seen it. It was like $250, and I was like, he had picked it up ages ago, so he brought that for me, which was great. And then the only actual toy I bought a bit of Beast Wars love, because so I never had this original figure, so £10 for the reissue. I thought I'm having that from John from T4E. But I never really got enough time around all the stalls. I'd like to have bought more. I'd like to have seen more, but I didn't. Maybe next year.
I thought you'd bought something else actually, but I discovered that wasn't the case.
Was I meant to buy something else?
Do you want to go next, Pete, or do you want me to go next?
You go next. You go next. You've let everyone else go. You go next.
I was going to make. Anyway, okay. So just because it's easier than dragging all the stuff up here. So I I shared this photo start of the week of kind of to try cover the things I picked up. So you can see the the original piece of artwork from Nathan of Brickformers there. I also got obviously the stuff that we got just for arriving. That was a nice surprise. I wasn't expecting to get this, this fantastic UK print of Fort Max, or the Australian version, which Sam picked up as well. I didn't expect to get either of those.
I can't believe I got the wrong misprint. Yeah.
Moth will be excited to know that obviously I got my TFUKcon bar mat, which was fantastic given the Cheers theme, just in case anybody hadn't picked up on that. But the wife managed to get about 10 of them because they just gave them to her on the door, apparently. She said, I don't know why, probably scared if I'm honest, but they gave them to her, so we've got a supply of them. We're going to be great for them. The Transformers the Show tape measure, because even I didn't have one of those, and I got one of those. And then actually, did you not get one?
No.
Oh, Sam, we'll sort you out. There's a couple of things I've got to mention as things that were given to me as gifts, which was very kind. You can see the little Legends of Cybertron, I think it was called, Starscream from Transformers Cybertron, and you might just be able to spot just here a little skateboard with Leonardo on it, the best turtle, and that came from here's Lee Hancock, so thank you very much, and from his daughter, because apparently she had the pack of the skateboard things and she only wanted Michelangelo. We had this debate, which is the best turtle. Obviously it's Leonardo, but other people can like other ones. That's fine. All turtles are valid. And then lovely Dave Wayne from Toy Slice gave me a sealed Transformers Prime Beast Hunters knockout, which was really kind of him, because he knows I like Transformers Prime, and that was really nice of him. So thank you very much for that, Dave. And then purchases. I didn't buy a lot. I didn't really buy a lot, I don't think. So I was able to pick up, I know it sounds weird, but I bought a classic Skywarp, because Skywarp, that classic Skywarp, I love the colours on it. The shade of purple is more pinky, and it just... Yeah. I had that toy, and the canopy snapped off, and I tried super gluing it, and the damn thing just kept snapping off again where it snapped originally. So I wanted another one of those, and I got that from Paul Bryan. From Paul Bryan, I also got, you might be able to see the bot in the middle there, which is Transformers Energon Dreadwing, which we arranged for me to buy from about 8 months ago, and we haven't seen each other since, because we thought, there's no point posting it. We'll just sort it out when we see each other next. And that was really cool, because I just love the look of the figure, and I haven't got that mold, and we both realized since that it seems to be quite a rare figure. So cheers to Paul for doing that. He did me a solid. And then for Primetime Toys, because I'd been trying to resist buying one of these for so long, and the Man Moth had the black version of the Mod Fans roller. Oh, and I couldn't say no anymore. So I picked up one of those. It's just such a good figure. And then you might have noticed the big Primus, those of you watching at home, and that was, I was looking at it, but it wasn't cheap. And while I was umming and ahhing, my wife just decided to go and buy it for me. So that was very kind of her.
Oh, well done, Claire.
I've been saying it's sealed. It's not actually sealed, I've realised, but it is all sealed in. If you take my drift, it's been opened, the box, but actually the bot is still strapped in, and all the plastic straps and everything. It's never been out of the box and messed around with. So I've got that, and now I've got to argue with myself about whether I'm going to take it out, which I probably am. And I think I've covered everything on there. Oh, sorry, the little Defender Blocky as well, which I think that was from you, Wolf, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because I had to assume that, because I think you mentioned it before the con, and then Jamie ran up to me in the garden area when we were in the beer garden, handed me it, said nothing, and ran away. So okay, thank you. That was really kind.
That was because I kept going. I need to remember to make sure I get that to Andy, but then I'd then go up and do an interview or something. I kept forgetting. So Jamie very kindly made sure he got that.
It's almost like you were busy. It's almost like you were doing something. And yeah, I highly recommend these. The roller figures look great, and there's different variants of it and different colors that you can get. But this black one is just lovely. And like you said it to me, Moff, you said it's like when you get it in hand and you actually mess around with it, it feels so solid, but it actually scales with some of the mainline stuff, so you can have him as a roller. And I quite like this black version. It's like my head canon. It's him and the battle platform got abandoned when Optimus Prime became Power Master Optimus Prime. So he got bitter and he turned Decepticon. Turn to the evil side. And then this Dreadwing, I just love it. I know it's an old toy. I know it's got faults, and it does have faults to it, but it is such a lovely looking toy. And yeah, I was surprised by how chuffed I was when I got this off Paul, the old Yorkshire Capaldi. And that's the thing. I've not really been taking a lot of photos recently. I just haven't felt the need to do it. And after TFUKcon, I wanted to take photos, which again, that's kind of shows you what the event had done for me.
Doesn't that have a sound wave from not Revenge of the Fallen, Dark of the Moon?
Yeah, it kind of does. Yeah,
it has that look to it.
Yeah.
It's based off. No, was it the Energon Mirage or the Armada Mirage?
And then a face tattoo like Mike Tyson, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I stopped myself from doing a Mike Tyson impression just then. Probably for the best. But yeah, it's actually surprisingly posable. But that's helped by the fact it has this massive like cloak, which is basically the shell parts of the actual boat mode, but you can put him behind it and it looks a bit like a cloak, but it also allows him to stand up. And I'm really happy. So to get that stuff and get Red Alert this week, it has been an excellent week personally for me. But enough about me. Peter, what did you pick up and definitely not spend a lot of money on? Peter.
Yeah.
Showers,
yeah, thanks ever so much. So so on Saturday morning, I was having a early morning siesta post breakfast to get myself ready for the con. It was nothing to do with the late night on a Friday night or the overhydration I had experienced. But instead of being rudely awakened by the dustman, I was rudely awakened by a ride who sent me a picture that our friend Paul Bryan had on his stall. This animated Takara twin pack of a recolored bulkhead and Soundwave.
Shiny.
So I won't, because we're going mainstream now on the show, I won't repeat the language I used to Andy, but either way, I conveyed my message to Andy that do not let anybody sell it. So I rushed down the stairs, getting dressed on the way, rushed into the convention.
Ross,
I still got
45 minutes.
Yeah, I've done a half marathon.
Some of us hardcore went straight to the con.
Agreed. No, so Andy noticed this on Paul Bryan's store. So it was an instant pickup for me. Anything animated, I'm a proper sucker for it these days.
Nice.
Paul had so much good stuff on his stall. We did some loops, and it wasn't really anything that took my fancy. However, coming back, he had the KFC HorrorCons, and I feel like I was wearing a mask and a stripy jumper because I feel like I've robbed him. It was a mutually agreed deal, but I got both KFC HorrorCons for 160 quid, and
That's a steal.
It's amazing.
I've never felt like I've got a bigger bargain. It's ridiculous, and they are so good, and they look like the bruisers of the Rebirth that they were in the cartoon, and they're just exceptional toys. And I want to take this opportunity to say thank you, Paul. Absolutely love them, mate. Thanks ever so much.
He says you got a bargain. There you
I
go.
bloody did. And if he's at TFN, I am a beer.
There you go. You've got it on tape, Paul. You heard it here.
Yeah, one, not an evening.
Not made of money. I've seen the price.
And one of my beers.
I was going to say, is it one of your
Bring your own.
Yeah.
Oh, right, lads. Does that bring us then to a close? Is there anything anybody else wants to add? I know we talked about, like, go on, Moff.
Can I share a picture about next year?
Ooh.
Is it an exclusive?
I know it's put up on the Facebook page. It's just, it's
mate.
not, you know. So we're in a position where I'll just share my screen actually. Just we are in a position where we managed to chat to the convention. We fell into the place we were in last year. We were let down late in the game. Managed to swap, and the place we landed on could not be better in terms of the hall layout's fantastic. The staff are great. They're just so welcoming and want to support and want to help us. You know, what can we do? What can we do? What can we do? And it just that, you know, from an organisation point of view, is just fantastic. So we asked them, can we have a conversation about next year and dates? So we have our date for next year, and that is May 16th. So May 16th will be the main event, with all intentions of having a Friday night event as well. But the main day will be Saturday, May 16th. It will very, very likely have some sort of Transformers movie theme. And I like this, like where all are one. We talk about it being a community event. So that aspect of it kind of being all of us getting together is really good. The ticket sales will go up October 25, as will traders and stuff. So, and we'll have a nice new website coming, loads of different bits. So keep an eye on the socials. In the next few months, you'll see stuff. We maybe need a week or two to relax, but yeah, very much so excited to kind of know that we're going to be doing something next year. We've kind of got our guests in the back of our mind. So no, really excited about kind of getting on for the next bit. Hey, Brad will be there. Missed Brad this year. Missed Brad. Missed a few people that like that. It was like there's people there that hadn't been in previous years. So there's a lot of. Each year's had more new people as well, which is good. It's not just the same people coming every year. The expanse of the attendees coming, people coming for the first time. There was traders who traded for the first time. All that lovely experience. I was sitting talking to James Roberts on the Sunday morning, and one of the traders came up, and a individual who'd just been an attendee came up and was like, "It's our first time coming to a convention. Can't wait." And there was people who were very much like, where else can we get more of this? And it's like, come to TFN. The next one up's TFN. Like, you know, we are small. Like, we're very different. We're not as professional as TFN are. We openly admit that. But we're at, you know, like, how lucky are we as a fandom to have 4 conventions a year, and then you've added gatherings, and then all the other bit. Just 4 Transformers conventions a year is just incredible. So, no, very much looking forward to next year and expanding on the team, expanding on the ideas. So look forward to sharing more as we can.
Well, it was a fantastic event. The whole thing was brilliant. It was great fun from start to finish. Lovely atmosphere. So many friendly people. And as you said, there's friends of ours who couldn't make it, and hopefully next year they can get themselves there, because I think everybody will enjoy it. And I'd recommend it to anyone who's watching who hasn't been yet to TFUKcon to come and give it a go. It is fantastic.
2 years in a row we've sold out. So what does 2026 look like? Hopefully that we'll be in a similar position next year.
Brad, I feel me and you need to have a conversation about this. We need to have a serious conversation. And it shall happen. It shall happen. And Paul, same to you. Don't encourage him, Paul. Don't encourage him. Unbelievable.
Bloody
help a brother
debauchery.
out. Anyway, right. I think that sparked a whole conversation of their own now in the chat. I think that probably brings us to a close then. I don't think we've got anything else we need to really mention.
Well, no, but it's probably a good segue, mate. Sorry to cut across you with Moff saying about how lucky we are, to segue into the fact that there are still tickets available for TFN that is rapidly approaching in August, 8th to the 8th to the 10th. I mean, if you're like Andy and Moff and myself and some other people, we're going in June, and we will be there slightly warmed up, ready for TFN. But tickets are still available for the Friday, the Saturday night, the Sunday. Mix and match your tickets. It really is a fantastic event. And if you want to, if you were at TFUKcon and you want to carry on that, you know, convention feeling, They've got it under
Come
control.
on, Andy. You know it's all pretty
Playing it
fun.
cool. But it genuinely is again another homely convention experience, slightly on a slightly bigger scale in a slightly bigger hotel, but still the same faces, the same toys, and hopefully more of the same laughs.
And Chris McFeely was teasing they have something very special lined up for the Saturday night.
Yeah.
You know, if anybody was there in 2022 when him and Jim did the movie one, he says if you enjoyed that, be prepared to be impressed. And I'm like, even with the many drinks, he still wasn't sharing.
Yeah, he wouldn't give it up.
I plan to get Mr. Turnbull drunk at the gathering and try and squeeze some information.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in
A
the
live
chat
stream.
now, so
Yeah. Well, he can't be that busy because he's sat watching us. Get back to work.
Get to work.
Slacking. All
Yeah.
right. Well, thank you very much, guys. Thank you for joining us tonight to go through and go over.
Thank you for having me.
What
Yeah.
wonderful event was.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you for last week. Mr. Turnbull has just commented. We'll see, Andy. We'll see. Got a few agrees in there. And thank you to everyone who came along to TFUKcon, who came to watch the show, who came to watch all the panels, just came and enjoyed themselves. It was a wonderful event. It was really, really good. And I'm not just saying that because I'm friends with the organisers. It was genuinely such a good weekend.
I think friends is pushing it, Andy. Acquaintances.
I wasn't talking about you. Anyway. Anyway.
Thank you, Andy. And again, thank you each of yours, the three of yours, to Paul. I'm scared I'm going to miss somebody. I need to always mention Simon Odd because I always forget Simon Odd. Which is terrible. To Luke, to Russ, to Gav, to PJ, to Greg helping out in the stall, to the wife helping out in the stall, to Jamie helping out in the stall, to Luke, and to everybody who contributed. People gave free prizes to give away as well. Just so many. But Simon Furman came up with a prize just as we were doing the wrap when I had an extra prize in. Just thank you so much to everybody in the community who has embraced our little convention that can, and it's just grown and grown. And we'll always be a small fan convention, a small fan gathering, but it was a pleasure to stand up at the top and kind of interact and watch everybody enjoy themselves. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Right, we're going to try this because Paul was messing around with the StreamYard and he disconnected the automatic intro thing. So we're going to try to end the stream and we're going to see if this works automatically or if it.
Should we say goodbye now?
Shall we say? Yeah. Shall we say? We're going to say goodbye, but we might still be here. But we're going to say goodbye. So it can only go well. Right. No, we're all hooked up.
The stream going to go upside down.
Yeah, it goes upside down and it comes back to us, and we're all upside down. But that's probably the alcohol. Right. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you for joining us. As usual, go to Facebook, find us at Transformers the Show. Go to Twitter and Blue Sky. Probably avoid Twitter, actually. It's a cesspit. But go to Blue Sky and you'll find Peter and myself and Jamie on Blue Sky.
Why do you keep calling me Peter? You've never called me Peter.
Because I want to say Peter, but I feel like you want to move away from that. You don't like these ones. And also go to Instagram where we have Transformers the Show as well, and follow all our socials, and follow Primetime Toys, and follow Sam's Formers on Instagram. And have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, whatever you're doing over this bank holiday weekend, and stay safe. Have a good one, everyone.
It's time for Transformers, the show! From Michael Bay to Marvel UK, every record in between. Breaking news and toy reviews, every robot stands wet green. Grab a brew and join the crew, become part of our scene. Bring your mom, let's drink her own, make sure you're at least 18. Welcome to the show, third party and let's roll. Friday nights, let's go, Transformers the show.
Dick.